Good morning and welcome to What Shape Are You In? Now, I'm excited to be here, and I won't be here if I'm not excited. I'm like a robin who listens, and I pull up a worm, and I can't wait to get here to show it to you. So, the title of today's talk is I See Dead People. And you remember that movie with Bruce Willis and that little kid? I forgot his name. And I made a little meme out of it because there's a picture of this little kid, and he has this painful look on his face, and he tells Bruce Willis, "I see dead people." And of course, the movie is a surprise. It's called The Sixth Sense. It's a surprise because Bruce Willis is dead and he doesn't know it. And the little boy sees dead people walking around who don't know they're dead. So we have a lot of movies about the walking dead. These are all metaphors for something. What? We should be interested. So I thought today about my little stick figures, and this is me here. Say me. Okay. Because I'm really only interested in me. We're all narcissists. And so the little me here is like a tree. So there's roots down here under the surface of the tree. It holds the tree up. And the roots send the nutrients and the energy and the ideas that shape the tree. And the tree shape is, of course, the branches. Now, each of us is a tree, and our life is the branches. Our life, projects, relationships, what we've done, the whole catastrophe is the branches on this tree. But it's living. And because we are the tree, we can't get away from the tree to see the whole tree. It's like we're a squirrel on the tree getting the nuts of today's tree, but we can't see the whole tree. So we have no idea what shaped the tree. I shaped the tree. But the roots are unconscious beneath the surface. So the awakened life, let's put it this way, using the movie as a metaphor, if you don't see the roots of the tree that you are, you're walking dead. Because without understanding and seeing the roots, and by the way, roots are like knots. And if you know a knot, if you it's got two strings, excuse me. And if you pull one to loosen it, the other hand, the unconscious hand, pulls the other. Tightens it. So we're constantly trying to untie the knot, creates the tension in my life, discontent. I'm not growing the right way. Why do I keep cutting this branch off? Why do I keep falling? The main thing is I grow a branch to get something and it ends up to be nothing, or it falls off. I've cut it off myself. Excuse me, how could I stop cutting off the branch? That's because we're not conscious of one of our hands. It's conscious hand, unconscious hand. I untie the knot, I'll be free. I tie the knot, you see. So that's because we are not really interested, curious about the roots. Excuse me. So how can we awaken the sixth sense? How can we awaken the sixth sense? The sixth sense is listening. The sixth sense is not doing something. The sixth sense is a robin, listening for the root to move. And when the root moves, he hears it and he grabs it up. He's got that worm. It doesn't come back again. So we begin to be curious about the roots, the patterns in our life. And these patterns are always in the mud of our life, in our home, in our relationships, in our jobs. These patterns are very evident in our everyday life. But we don't look for them there. We look for them in the branches, in the big dramas. And we look for them in religion and philosophy and psychiatry and therapists and gurus and all of that, you see. We look for it in the future. But the roots are now. The roots are living roots. And they're like worms under the surface. You have to listen. And when you hear one, you got it, and it doesn't come back. So listening and seeing are the same sense. The sixth sense is listening, and listening is seeing. Seeing is listening. Both take no effort. Takes no effort to see, takes no effort to listen. The doer is not doing anything. But our culture, and by the way, this is earth culture, so each of us is a tree whose roots are not only in my personal culture, my history, where I was born, my family, all of that, you see. That's roots of my personal culture. We are also rooted in our regional, we talked about this, the Russian nesting dolls of culture. We're rooted in Russian nesting dolls of culture. Our regional culture, our religious culture, political culture, whatever. You can go through the dolls. But they're all roots unconscious to me. So they grow me. So I am grown not only by my own unconscious roots, my patterns, my autopilot behaviors. Most all of our behaviors are on autopilot. We just do them. We also notice that, in a very simple thing, particularly when we get older, that if we interrupt a behavior or something interrupts it, we screw it up. Did I put milk in my coffee or not? I don't know. Why? You asked me something when I was making my coffee. Now I don't know if I put cream in it or not. My pattern got interrupted. So patterns are unconscious. That's why when they get interrupted, we don't know what we've been doing because it was on autopilot. Even when you're driving, go into autopilot, suddenly you go over a rock or something and snaps you back out of your daydream. You have no idea where you are. Did I pass my turn? Where am I? Am I on Mars? I don't know, you see. So the idea we're working with here is that the sixth sense is listening, and listening is seeing. Now, how do we wake up, from being the walking dead? Well, the walking dead is just when you don't have the sixth sense of seeing and listening. If you're not seeing and listening, you're walking autopilot. You're a walking pattern. You're a walking behavior. With the eyes on the future or in the rear view mirror, but not where you're walking. To see where you're walking and what you're doing requires listening and seeing, which is effortless. So when you are living, life is effortless. Life is effortless effort. Everything flows. You're in the zone. You know what to do. It's easy. Problems dissolve. You see, you're always integrated. You're always in alignment. Nothing sticks. Arrows fall off. Rain runs off your back. You move. You adjust. You're in alignment. But the alignment that comes from the sixth sense, which is listening and seeing, is a progressive alignment. In other words, it's an alignment that is constantly adjusting to the changing road of life. See, we get a car and we got a wobble, and we take it and get it alignment. But then we hit a bump, and the alignment is off. And we got to go back and get it aligned again. We got to go back to the religion. Would you get me realigned? I got to go back to the therapist. I got to go back to the priest. I'm out of alignment. Well, that's because we're not using the sixth sense. And the sixth sense is our birthright. It's always already there. Listening and seeing is where we are when we're born. Before we become acculturated and rooted in behaviors and unconscious patterns, you see. So this is all waking up is just waking up to the sixth sense of listening and seeing. And when you listen and seeing, you're living. Seeing and listening is life. Life is seeing and listening. And then effort comes spontaneously. Not, oh, should I do this or that? That's a pattern. Life then becomes easy. The weight of the root system no longer bends you over. Anyway, thanks for dropping in. I see I got through my cough. See you tomorrow.